Hi, I'm Lucie Hemmen, and I'm a clinical psychologist specializing in teen girls. Today I have my own teen with me, and we're going to talk about topics that often come up in my private practice office, and hopefully we'll generate some ideas for you to use with your teen daughters. Marley?
My name is Marley Hemmen. I'm 19 years old, so I'm just finishing up my teen years. My sister is 15 years old, so that also gives me another perspective on the whole teen ageness, and I feel like I have a lot to say about it. Yeah, curfew can definitely cause a lot of tension, I think, between parents and their kids, especially because it's always a negotiation. You're always pushing for something. You always want more time.
I think what kids want is more freedom, which is also developmentally appropriate. And what parents want is we want to know that our teenagers are safe and that you're getting the rest that you need. And I think that a lot of parents are tired and they want their sleep disrupted as little as possible. So it kind of makes for a turbulent topic of conversation. I think that what we did is when you were younger, we had a tighter curfew, an earlier curfew, and then as you showed us that you could keep agreements, text, check in, be where you're supposed to be, that your curfew got expanded.
Yeah.
Do you have any other thoughts about?
I remember checking in a lot, and I remember being very anxious about needing to check in and make sure that we were on the same page. And I remember curfew being very stressful because I didn't want to upset you. I didn't want to get in trouble. I wanted to be able to keep my freedom because every year you kind of gain a little bit more freedom, and I didn't want to blow that. So I think what worked well for us was just communicating a lot about it and checking in. I kind of forgot how much I would check in.
Yeah, you were really good at texting at 10, text at 11, be where you're supposed to be,
Yeah.
which made me feel comfortable extending your curfew, especially for special occasions.
And that was my incentive to check in, was
Yeah,
to
you got.
make progress on staying out later.
And I think a lot of parents want a single curfew to apply to all occasions, and that drives teenagers crazy because if you're watching a movie at someone's house, that's a pretty low risk activity, and so why not extend the curfew? And I think when parents are flexible, you create goodwill with your teenager, and your teen is more likely to collaborate with you and work with you when they feel like you're actually considering their circumstances instead of setting a rigid rule.
Yeah, one set curfew, I don't think that really will work, because one day maybe you're just, like you said, watching a movie with your friends and you want to come home at 9:30. Maybe you have a party you want to go to, and that will call for you staying out later. So for parents to be flexible and talk to their kids about what their plans are, you want to know what we're doing. That gives us an incentive to talk to you more if that might help us stay out later, or just so you understand our plans and know that there can be some flexibility in there, the more communication that there is.
Yeah. Okay, good. I know another topic that comes up that I think is really touchy is weight for teenage girls. And I think a lot of parents know that there's a growth spurt when you become a teenager. A lot of parents don't know that there's actually a weight spurt, especially for teenage girls. So in my private practice, I often have moms ask me, how can I talk to my daughter about her weight or my concern about her weight without triggering something that could be dangerous for her? And I want to know your perspective on this, but what I typically tell parents is that there actually is no way you can bring up weight with a teenage daughter, because you agree.
Agreed.
Because if a parent says, honey, especially after college, there's that freshman 15, and parents will become worried about it. And they'll say, what if I just tell my daughter, I've noticed you've gained weight and I want to support you? And I said, I think that your daughter will hear that. I think you're fat and disgusting. Yeah. So.
Don't, as a mom, do not talk to your daughter about weight. It will make us feel bad no matter what you say. I think if you emphasize being healthy, that's all you really want as a parent, is for your kids to be healthy. It shouldn't be about weight, because that's more about the body image, and you're not thinking about health. You're not thinking about getting nutrients or anything like that. You're thinking about how much do I weigh, and that's not an area you want to talk to your kids about. There's no good way to have that conversation.
I think also to parents who are dieting and talking about calories accidentally infect their daughters with that mentality that they need to kind of over control their eating, and eating is one of those things that if you stay in tune with what your body wants and what makes your body feel good and what makes your body feel strong, that you're way better off than if you count calories or say, I'm not eating any sugar or any carbs, because that sets up teen girls for maybe restricting food. And then when you restrict food, you tend to then binge on food. And I think especially your culture with all the media messages, you're all very vulnerable to becoming obsessed with your appearance, especially weight.
I remember being a freshman in high school, and we would literally walk to the gas station and eat chips, candy, and a huge soda every day. And I didn't think that that was bad. And we kind of figured out really quickly that other girls were going out and getting their salad, you know? So high school is a really sensitive time where girls are figuring out that people are judging you about what you're eating, and it's really nerve-wracking to feel like you have that many eyes on you at school alone. Like some girls, I remember, didn't even want to eat on campus. So to feel like your mom is someone who's also judging you about what you're eating or how you're managing your weight is just gonna give problems.
Too much pressure.
It's too much pressure. There's already a lot of pressure, not even just from the media and stuff like that, but just from just being at school and seeing the people that are around you and everything.
And I've noticed you and your friends kind of figured it out on your own, how to eat so that you felt good.
We love to eat.
You felt
We really do.
no eating problems in your friend group, which is great. Okay, so anything more on weight, or do you think
I think you can teach your daughter how to really enjoy food. I enjoy food, but I'm also healthy. I love going out and having a good meal, and like that's the main thing that I do with my friends is we'll make dinner, we'll do something nice. And I think that food doesn't have to be a big scary thing, and weight doesn't have to be like that. You can just enjoy yourself.
And I would add to that, if a parent does feel that her daughter is showing signs of an eating disturbance, that it's really important to approach your daughter very compassionately and not, because a lot of parents get very concerned, and so they kind of launch on their teen daughters and say, you know, what are you doing? Why are you going to the bathroom after a meal? Or why have you lost 20 pounds? And while that's very understandable, because parents love their kids and they don't want an eating disorder to become part of a problem that presents itself. But if a parent does feel that their daughter is maybe entering into an eating disorder, to be really gentle and compassionate and open and curious, and try to open up a conversation with your daughter, as opposed to sort of dumping your fears and your anxieties on your daughter, because that will shut that conversation down really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.